You're asking yourself, your soulmate, your beloved, your dream partner, will he or she open their heart to you? Will he allow his heart to open? Will he feel that the love is very intense? The love for you? Maybe he always puts up a barrier and says, no, I don't love you. It's just friendship. And you feel, but something is there. But for you, despite everything, it's still a question mark because you don't know, is there really something there? Because he or she doesn't show you anything. Or maybe you were already in a relationship once. He suddenly withdrew abruptly. You went through all that. And you feel there's still something there. But he doesn't open up anymore. He shuts himself off. Maybe he was closed off the whole time during your relationship and your connection. And that's what we're going to look at now. We're tapping into the energy of the present moment, the most prominent energy that wants to reveal itself. And collective readings, the person Taitas Pude, to Trinode, insert, but I know you pick out what resonates with you. And no matter when you watch this video, time is always fluid. It wants to reach you at exactly the right moment. And that's what we're looking at now. A very, very wonderful and heartfelt thank you for all your lovely comments once again. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. And thank you for your presence. Thank you for your loyalty here on my channel. And I'm sending you lots and lots of loving, positive energy. So let's take a look, shall we? What's going on there? Whether he actually wants to open his heart. So first we have Libra. Yes, this is about connection, about solidity. And that was already the case when you had contact, whether it was in a relationship, during the getting to know each other phase, or in a friendship. Here it's clearly about connection and about stability. And we can already see growth here. So I'd say that for a start, things are looking pretty good, but we still have quite a bit ahead of us. Let's see, at any rate, we're in a process of development here, a healthy, positive development. But your special someone, there's still some kind of attachment to the past, right? And there's still something there, but we're getting to stability, and that's a really, really important point. Then we have the moon. With the moon, it shows that your special someone is, well, it's a very powerful card, very strong in their thoughts as well, holding back their emotions, but they're worried. These are fears. But that has to do with attraction, not that he's afraid of you. No. For your special someone, the fears come from their past. We have the past here, we have his fears here. That's the issue that's still blocking him or her right now, feelings. But feelings are also a really, really big topic. And basically, I already see him or her here as very, very much so, who has to yes, but seeing here in a sensitive way as well. So this sensitivity is also something he keeps protecting himself from. And that's why he or she keeps closing off their heart again and again. But in terms of movement here, so it's also in the evening hours that he increasingly gets caught up in these thoughts, especially those concerning you. So I'd say, especially in the evening when it's dark or things are quieter, that's when emotions and thoughts keep coming up again and again. Then we also have the bear. Yes, we're seeing the past again, right? And that's where he or she has always lacked strength. And that's also a recurring issue. We're seeing the past again. It has to do with something or something or someone from the past. And that's always his issue because he's always afraid that he can't show this strength, or he's afraid of himself for not being able to show it. And yes, he always tends to withdraw into himself. So we're really talking about the heart here. He's actually very sensitive and keeps trying to protect that. But for him or her, there's also the issue. And we'll take a closer look at what exactly we can find out here, because your loved one has an issue with another person. And this could be about jealousy, that he sees himself as small, because there's still something powerful from another person present here. And that's a recurring issue for him or her. It could be related to you in a relationship or to his situation in his environment. Let's take a look at that. But I already have something here. So as I said, let's see what else we can find out here. And that's because I see the development here. So there's something here, but it's still a bit blocked. Oh, okay. So at first glance, he or she is really, really, really focused on you. Wow, I have to say, I'm already really impressed by Descartes by the start of this reading. Hey, fantastic. So with this person close to your heart, we've had a lot of issues from the past, as shown here. Now we see them again. The past is a really big topic, and you are still a part of his life in the present, coming from the past. He hasn't forgotten you. Definitely not. He just keeps seeing himself as small. We have this tendency to see oneself as small. That's the wrong perspective that he or she has. We also have a really big issue with jealousy here. What I mentioned earlier could be jealousy, and here we have clear confirmation of that. Because your beloved, your sweetheart, your soul partner, might currently notice that you have activities, that you're out and about, but maybe he can't really make sense of it anymore because he doesn't really hear much from you. And then the thought keeps coming up, wow, is there someone else? Is someone else coming into the picture? Is there contact? Does he look better than I do? Does he have bigger muscles than I do? Does he have the better car? This material stuff keeps coming up because he or she always sees themselves as less, has the wrong perspective about themselves. He has fears. He has tremendous fears. Fear of being left, because even back then he already felt, and now feels even more intensely, that you are an important part of his life. And that has never stopped. On the contrary, now it's even more intense than it was in the past. Maybe he distanced himself from you, a knee-jerk reaction. It was just an impulsive act, because he himself didn't even know how to deal with it. And what I find so otherwise remarkable here is that you are definitely still on his mind, not just occupying his thoughts, but also making him doubt himself because he keeps seeing himself as small, you know? And this regret is also evident. What have I done? But I see that as something very small, very far away, but because here, this love is much bigger and more powerful, and he keeps struggling with issues from his past. There are still a few obstacles in the way. These are issues from the past, but they are being resolved because the way these topics appear here, I see them dissolving. He's letting go of old patterns of behavior. This, yes, this. I only believe what I see in black and white. Maybe that's how he or she always was, right? Like this, the rational thinker. Head versus heart, and the head always ruled. He was completely in his thoughts, totally overthinking everything, and always chose his head over his heart. And that was also the decision he made back then, that he maybe didn't open up to you, ended the relationship, withdrew. So, and now it's like this. And I actually see a complete transformation in your loved one, that he can't keep this up anymore. He can no longer withstand working against his heart. And yes, we clearly have the heart being touched. We have the connection, but he still has some fears that he might do something wrong. That's actually his big issue. He kept showing you something different on the outside, you know. Maybe, hey, I've got everything under control, and no, I can turn off love. I can turn off feelings. I always get this kind of reaction from someone close to my heart, that he says he can turn all of that off, you know. And there's nothing, there are no more feelings, or there never was anything. But I can't confirm that here anymore, and neither can he himself, because I've actually seen him here really doubting himself. He doesn't even trust himself anymore. That's the old way. He still tries to bring that back a little bit. I can turn off my feelings. Yes, Pfeiffer-Dengel. He can't do anything. Not at all. You can't just turn off feelings. It just keeps coming more and more and more. And now, after this reading, collectively, well, I can only tell you his perspective, you know. He sees it as if you have moved on. Maybe you're already in a new relationship or have met someone else, because he finds you incredibly attractive. Your charisma, your warmth, your kindness. And now he's at this point where he can't make sense of anything anymore, because he knows that really any man would be at your feet. I actually find his perspective absolutely fantastic. And also the appreciation he has for you. And now his thoughts are really turning to jealousy. No, right? She can't be with anyone else, right? Because he really wants to move forward here and wants to be by your side. But he still has a bit of doubt about how he can best make that happen. But we are here with the question, will he come into the heart opening? I say to you here a definitive yes to the opening of your heart. The old is being replaced. I see transformation and a new beginning. Everything is moving towards healing, even if there's still a little bit of struggle. But the healing can be seen here completely. Above all, the tide is turning. It's turning in favor of love and love for you. And even though it took a long time, all that sluggishness, now things are moving really fast. So I'm seeing shorter intervals in which he's doubting. And those intervals where he doubts are getting shorter and shorter, because the heart is getting stronger and stronger. The heart truly has the greatest power in him here. And the more he tries to fight against it again and again, he's out of strength. He can't go on. There's no chance. And he will give up too, because he feels exactly, not that he says, okay, I have to give up, I have no chance. No. It's because he's being drawn more and more into the attraction to you, which definitely still exists, which we've already seen here before, that he wants to live out this love. I see a complete change here. The mind, the ego becomes quiet, and the heart becomes very loud and very big. So what do we have here? Wow. Fantastic. So we have the flowers. Yes? And he will fight for your favor, for your attention. It could also be that he brings you a gift, an invitation, a surprise, because I really sense a surprise when I see this here. I even see him thinking about how to make you happy, you know, to do something nice for you. It could be a birthday or something else that he comes up with something, because I really see him deep in thought here about what he can do, because I have this gift. But still, I still sense the hesitation, this constant, does this even fit, or how should I do this best? Because he's always afraid of being rejected by you, you know, because he knows very well that he actually messed up here. And there's also still a secret, right? By the way, I got that question during the heart reading from a question from the collective. And feel free to keep sending in suggestions for collective readings. But after this reading, because here it's only hinted at on the side, and you know, I can only interpret as far as the reading allows, because there's still a secret here, you know, so we'll see what that secret is and make that our next question. And if that's okay with you, as I said, feel free to comment and share your opinion about it as well. So yes, let's take the next question. What is the secret? Because that's what's being hinted at here. Somehow he's afraid. There's a secret. There's something there. Something still lies dormant here. Yes, but in any case, it's clear that to him, you are a gift, and he has it in his mind to surprise you. It could also be a visit, an invitation, no matter how or what. He will really do everything he can here to make you happy. And you can, when I look at you, you can definitely expect something nice here. And even just the message itself is already a huge gift for you. Just a call or simply a WhatsApp or, you know, a message on Messenger, that alone is already a huge gift for you. It's not about material things. But that's just how he is. He feels the need to give you something, even if it's just a bar of chocolate or something small, you know? So it's now fantastic. We have the ship. That represents his dreams, and his longing is shown here once again. It may not happen very quickly, it still needs some time, but we see movement here, and his heart is gradually starting to move more and more. And I would say, after this entire reading, I think we've already made it through the hardest part when I look at the big picture here, considering the complete spread and not just this single card. I really have to say, we've already made it through the longest stretch. We're truly in motion now. And yes, so there is definitely still something happening. I think the slow movement will also be present here. It's about how he can best manage to approach you again, right? That's the issue here. Because as I said, there's still a bit of a struggle going on here. There's also some kind of secret involved here, you know? But as I said, it is moving forward. And even if you are at a distance from each other, geographically, well, there will always be a solution for that as well. Because even if he is abroad or in another city, you know, he is really now saying all of this for himself. He is happy to accept the challenges of life in order to see you, to reconnect with you, because his heart has truly spoken here, and now the heart is taking the lead. My dears, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching, and I wish you a wonderfully beautiful rest of your day. Goodbye.